What's going on, everyone? My name is Cole. Welcome to my channel. This is Trans Spirit Indigo. Thank you to all the subscribers, everyone who's been commenting, liking these videos. If you are new here, please make sure to do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when new videos come out. And make sure to like this video. Of course, I'm sure you know it helps with the algorithms, so I'm very thankful for all of you. In this video, I'm going to get into the importance of forgiveness, and particularly my experience with forgiveness and letting go, and also internalized homophobia. Okay, so this one's been kind of a long time coming for me. I have spoke before about letting things go. When we let go, we receive these kinds of things, and this is all very important. But recently I want to share with you something a little more personal from my life and some of the shadow work that I've been working on over the past few months. Now, some of you might know that I've been working on a memoir for a really long time. And, I've gone back and forth with it. I've beaten myself up for not getting it done quick enough. And then I've realized that it's coming as soon as it needs to. It's on time. You know what I mean? Like, how do I say this? It's like this. I kept rushing myself, being angry at myself for not writing it fast enough. But now that I'm here in this now moment, at the very end of it, in editing mode, a year later, I have realized that I'm right where I need to be. There are certain lessons that I had to learn to get to the point of finishing the book. Now, technically, I've had the book idea for years. And technically, I started writing the first draft of it a few years back. But this last draft of it that I'm on now and finishing up, I've been working on for a year, since last November, late October. So here I am in the now. And what I've realized through writing this is that it's brought up a lot of shadows that I have had to release, that I am still releasing. I'm realizing how important forgiveness is, not just towards other people, forgiving them for what they've done to me, negatively done to me, asking them for forgiveness for the negative things that I've done to them. But one of the biggest things that I've been taking in is self-forgiveness, forgiving myself. And this has gone even deeper for me into something called internalized homophobia. Now, I'm sure you might have heard that a lot of times when people are homophobic, which simply means to not feel comfortable with the idea of homosexuality or transphobia. Some people have argued that, well, I'm not afraid of it, I just don't agree with it, because phobia is usually to have a fear. Whatever, like, okay, you're not afraid of it, you don't agree with it. That's cool too, because we each have the right to make our own decisions about things. For me, the internalized homophobia, how I relate to it, is the fact that when I was growing up, the world around me told me that being gay was not okay. So I stayed in the closet for a really long time, technically 13 years, because I was pretty aware of it by age 4.5, 5 years old, came out officially, like, end up being 18 going into 19. I came out, and for those of you that don't know, I came out and said that I was attracted and am attracted to females, but I told my parents that I'm not a lesbian. And they didn't really understand that, and neither did I, until a year later when I turned 20 and found out what the definition of transgender means and realized, hey, that's been me my entire life, for as long as I can remember. During all those years, being told that gay was bad, from the religions that I was involved with, thankfully, and I've said this before, thankfully, it didn't really come from my family and my extended family. I never heard anyone truly talking bad. I mean, there might have been things said along the way, but nothing that stands out and makes me think, oh, that was really bad. there's this one instance I get into in my book where it was like extended family that was teasing me for the idea that I might be a gay. But we were all kids, so it was kids. Kids sometimes are really mean. I'm sure you could agree. Adults are mean too, but sometimes kids, they'll tease each other. They're insecure. But I digress. So my reality, for the most part at home, it was cool. But I spent most of my life outside of home, at school, at church events, at Girl Scouts, and all these different things, extracurricular activities. Bah. And for the most part, I heard really negative things about being queer. I developed internalized homophobia to where I ended up hating myself deep down into my core because I knew who I am to a certain extent. I didn't know the trans part, but I knew that I am a biological assigned at birth female that's attracted to other females. And I've tried to be attracted to men. I've tried to think that way and tried to tell myself, oh, you can be with a guy. And it's no offense to guys. I mean, obviously I love guys because I feel like I am one and always have. But for me, as far as being in a relationship or being sexually attracted to a man, it just has never been the same as how I feel about women. I can say that a man is attractive. And I have dated few men, not really dated, but anyway, that's besides the point. There was one guy I dated, and my heart still hurts that I ever entered a relationship with him because I knew deep down that I was gay, so to say, even though I'm straight transgender. But just to uncomplicate it, in case you're just now coming onto my channel and don't know my whole story, I'm just talking for the umbrella term of everybody here, LGBTQ. This person didn't know I was LGBTQ. I had not admitted it to myself. So that's why I didn't come out of the closet. I had so much internalized homophobia. Just, the fear of it, feeling angry toward it, hearing other people say hateful things, wanting to hide the fact that I was that way. So I had said hateful things myself years ago. I don't like admitting this to you, but I'm going to be real with you. And I definitely talk about it in my book that will come out, that this internalized homophobia has just been one of the most toxic experiences of my life. So right now, through shadow work, I am asking myself to forgive myself, to forgive myself for the awful things I've said, I've thought, and to forgive the people that I've encountered in life who have said awful things about LGBTQ. It's a lot, but it's so good. Like, I'm thankful to be in this space. I'm thankful to be forgiving myself. The more we forgive, the more our vibrational frequency will raise. You want your frequency to be as high as possible right now. And, if you've watched any of my videos, how to do this would be with the foods, of course, you eat, getting plenty of exercise, sunshine, water, and doing a lot of that shadow work, forgiving, letting go, asking for forgiveness, making amends, even if it's energetically. Because sometimes we can't communicate with the people that we want to forgive or that we want to ask for forgiveness. That's not always safe. And it's not always possible. Sometimes people pass away. But we live in a quantum multiverse. And we are souls having a human experience. So we have every ability and power to make these amends, to set the intentions, because our words are powerful. Our words cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. So when we proclaim certain things, we're putting it out there energetically. It's with my purest intention to ask for your forgiveness. It's with my purest intention to forgive myself for being homophobic, to forgive myself. I forgive myself and I let go of all of the negative things I've said about the LGBTQ community in my younger years, when I was in the closet, when I was just embodying self-hatred. Because all I want to do now is love. I've spent so much of my life hating myself, and I'm just now realizing it. It's like I could see it before. It was obvious to me that there was self-hatred going on because of the way that I destructively drank and used drugs. But it's been a while since I've done any of those things. So I thought, oh, I'm loving myself. But that's when the shadow work came in, and it was like, consciously you're loving yourself, but on a deep subconscious level, we need to go in and meditate, spend some alone time, and just take those aspects, I love doing this. This is my favorite thing to do. Bum, bum. We need to go inside of ourselves, our soul, and we need to pick those shadow aspects out, bring them to the surface, and look at them, observe them, let them go and heal them. That's what I'm talking about here. That's the forgiveness I'm talking about. I just wanted to bring up the internalized homophobia because that's something that I've been working on specifically recently. And it's not a pretty subject to say. It breaks my heart to admit that I was homophobic when I was younger. I mean, it was hard to admit it to myself. But I was one of those people where I couldn't even say it out loud. I remember being alone at my parents' house in high school, and I tried to just say out loud when no one was home, I'm gay, and I couldn't say it, and I was so mad. But I empathized with that version of myself because I grew up being told by the society I was in, by the people I was around, that being queer is a bad thing. And for those of you that know, between the ages of 0 and 7, your subconscious mind soaks everything up like a sponge, and it sticks there in your subconscious mind until you go out of your way to reprogram your mind, to reprogram your subconscious. So little did I know, even though I came out of the closet and I'm showing love to the queer community on a conscious level, and I think that I let all of that go, what I'm realizing now is on a deep subconscious level, it's still there festering. And it comes up through insecurities of my own, through just memories of me saying things that were mean and hurtful. And then that makes me sad. It makes me feel icky about myself. That's where the forgiveness comes in. That's where I have to forgive myself for the way that I have acted, the way I've been. Now, I wasn't super homophobic. I wasn't like, gay bashing everybody online or anything, but there's just been things that I've said, I know in passing with friends from years ago, or they'd make fun of queer people and then I'd make fun of them too and pretend I wasn't queer. And there were even times where I came out and I was homophobic toward the LGBTQ community as a trans guy. There was a time in my mind where I thought that I wasn't a part of the queer community. I was just this guy trapped in a girl's body, and I was supposed to be straight and screw everybody else, and I was so angry. And I look back on that and the perspective I had, and I'm like, wow, I'm so thankful I'm not in that perspective anymore. Because I am a part of the queer community, and I'm not a cisgendered guy, and I'm thankful to say that I'm finally okay with that. I'm happy with who I am, because being transgender, and especially the non-binary journey for me, has been eye-opening. And it has expanded my consciousness because I am blessed to see life through the lens of the non-binary spectrum. And I still respect the binary. We have to remember to respect the binary because we want their respect too. I don't want to say being a guy or being a girl and being a guy and girl together is wrong, because technically that's how I feel. I've always felt like a cisgendered male that's heterosexual. I've always felt like a guy in a girl's body who's supposed to be romantically with a girl. It's just been recently that I've been discovering over the past few years about being non-binary. I didn't know there was a word for it. I used to call it non-op in some of my old videos. And by the way, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but I used to say sex change a lot, and it irks me now, and I know that's not politically correct. So my apologies for my older videos when I said that. It's hormone replacement therapy, HRT. A lot has changed. Now, I don't consider myself old, but I am older than some of my viewers out there, and I'm younger than some of them. I'm definitely not an ageist, because y'all, we're souls, again, having human experiences. So sometimes somebody who is earthly, their earth age is younger than you, their soul could be a lot older than yours, and vice versa. So I try not to be an ageist about it, but I see now that with the time period that I grew up in and where I'm at, being 36 years old, I was that last generation that spent a lot of my life without the internet, without ample amounts of information. So we're catching up. We're getting the terms. We're getting the terms right. So I just wanted to go over that and share that with you. And maybe some of you are experiencing that. It's not easy for me to admit that I've been in that homophobic space, but I think a lot of queer people deal with internalized homophobia because a lot of us grew up being told it was bad. I was told as a child that people that are gay burn in hell. You know how scary that is? I'm sure that a lot of you have been through that, where you're a little kid and some religious leader or whoever, whatever you're involved with, tells you that people that are gay burn in hell. That was terrifying for me as a child. And again, I know I'm not the only one. There, unfortunately, are countless people that experience that. I've talked to them. So even though we don't believe that anymore on a conscious level, that's where the conscious mind and the subconscious mind come back into play. On a deep subconscious level, I have to and am going within, scripting, writing, using affirmations, reminding myself that I do love myself and I am proud to be a transgender male, non-binary. I hope this helps. I always hope every video helps. And if you're watching my videos, again, thank you so much for being here. I love doing this. I love making videos. I love talking with everyone. Vibe high. Let go. Forgive. Let go of anger. Let go of jealousy. Let go of shame, guilt. All of those lower emotions, all of those lower energetic vibrations and frequencies. Let them go. I love you and I want you to be at your best and feel good and wake up every day inspired to do what it is you love in life. Not every day is going to be perfect, but dang it, you can make it a lot better than it has been. Trust me. I'll see you next time.